Welcome, systems check. System all clear. Initiating startup protocol. Welcome trivia and crypto degenerates. Access granted. Enjoy the descent into this immersive game of knowledge.
All right, perfect. There we go. Welcome, everybody. As always, Trivia Vice. Not gonna lie, I'm excited about this game tonight. I think it's gonna slap. We've got some good ones. We got some. I think it's gonna be some fun rounds that are unexpected.
Yeah, exactly. I was going through. Kyle and I split the homework again today, and I think some of our best games come from that when we kind of split the assignment.
Yep.
I am currently in a lot of pain right now.
We're gonna try to get through it pretty quick. Dan did something to his back this morning. We started working out this morning at the gym, and it wasn't even like a cool lifting story or anything like that. He literally just stood up on the machine and his back popped.
No, I was maxing out at 600 pounds bench press, and that's what happened. Threw my back out. No, I went over to get a drink. I didn't even bend over or anything. I literally was just walking, and it like pinched my nerve or something. I don't know.
So we'll try to breeze through it tonight, so Dan can get home and just kind of relax.
Yes. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's get started right away. I'm excited. This is a good one. The entire first round, Kyle did sports logos with a twist.
Yep.
So he gives you the logos. You don't have to name the team name. You have to name where they're from.
Yeah, you have to name the state that team is located.
And I got to be honest, you fooled me on two. Well, okay, the one I knew as soon as I saw the answer, and if I looked at all the answers, I would have known. Which I believe is the first one you did, and then the final one, I genuinely did not know that one.
I think a lot of it too depends on the sport.
Yeah.
Depends on how big of a fan you are of different sports.
That's a good point.
All right, here we go. So number one, name the state that is associated with that team's logo. Is that from Texas, Ohio, New York, or Arizona? So I'll give people a hint. It is part of the NHL.
Yeah. Yes. I'm now slouched in my chair.
Dan, do you know what team that is?
Yes, this is the Columbus Blue Jackets.
I got Dan on that one earlier. He wasn't sure what that was.
And I knew the logo. And that's the funny thing is I knew it was the NHL. I knew as soon as I was like, oh, Ohio, duh. Because I think because it was the first one I saw and I was like, okay, what the hell am I looking at here? I'm looking for Columbus. And why is it not on there? And I'm like, oh, well, okay. So I knew it. It took me a hot minute.
Well, it's interesting too because that's not their original logo. Like that's a more recent one, which I feel like their original logo is. They've had a couple of them, but those I feel like are easier to recognize than that one.
Yes.
All right, number two. What state is that from? Obviously, it's basketball. Is that Texas, Nevada, California, or Arizona?
Well, the funny thing here is this was an original logo for the Suns, and now they're using it again. Which I say, thank goodness, thank the basketball gods for that because I think this is such a better logo than the Suns had like from like 2003 to like 2020. They had a terrible logo. I actually kind of like this logo.
I do too. Yeah, this is one of the more fun logos I think in the NBA.
Yeah. Plus, they have a cool mascot with the gorilla. I don't know why it's a gorilla, but he's definitely one of the better mascots.
All right, so everybody got that. I kind of figured there was a couple of them where it was going to just be more based on speed, which I think it's interesting because you have to know what team it is, but also then what state are they located in.
Yep.
All right, is this out of Washington, Oregon, Montana, or California?
So I believe this is like the rowdiest group in the MLS, I think is what they're known for. It's a newer team. I think they came around, 2014, 2015-ish probably.
Yep.
And it's a pretty cool logo. I think as far as logos go, it's not a bad one. They're the Lumberjacks. Obviously it works for the area they're in. It's Portland, so I guess it depends if you know where Portland is or not. But so it is Oregon. Do you say Oregon or Oregon? I say Oregon most of the time.
I used to say Oregon, but then I had a friend in high school that moved from Oregon, and he always called it Oregon. And then also I had a professor in college that was from Oregon, and he called it Oregon as well.
Okay.
So I guess, I don't know, 2 native Oregonians or whatever they would be.
That sounds like a Star Wars species.
All right, number 4. Are they out of Tennessee, Mississippi, Florida, or Alabama?
They are actually out of obscurity. I'll be honest. This logo has everything going for it. I don't like the logo. Like it's supposed to be a cool,
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a saber tooth. It's supposed to be really, I just don't like it. It's never stuck with me, and I don't know why.
I would agree.
I don't have a particular reason.
I think I'm not a huge fan of the color scheme.
It could be partly the color scheme.
Just doesn't look menacing.
Sometimes I like sometimes when it's not a menacing logo. I like
see like that in like a black and red.
Yeah,
would look pretty cool.
Yeah. So that's the Nashville Predators. This is the final one right here. This is the one that did genuinely.
I think this next one's the toughest. This is
a tough one.
All right, so it's a baseball team. Are they out of Texas, New York, Florida, or California? This one got Dan. He did not know at all what that was. Bonus points if anybody in the chat can say what team that is.
I'll be honest.
That's a tough logo.
This makes way more sense as to why their name is.
Let's see if anybody can type in what baseball team is that.
It makes more sense as to why that's their name when you look at this, because it's like a friar.
Yep.
I guess is what the proper term would be for that gentleman in the logo.
No, they're right there. Yeah, San Diego
Padres. Yes. So of course Jerry says ZZ because he's from California. Well, I'm not a baseball fan for one, but I've never seen that as an alternate logo. That's a cool logo. It's way better than their normal logo. I think.
Yeah, their normal one either just says Padres or it's like the SD. I'm glad they went back to the original colors like this with the brown and yellow. I don't know. I like that classic look.
It's a 70s look, but honestly, they're a very aesthetic color combination, I think.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so first round. Let me get I didn't have my pen and pad for some reason. I'm stalling. First round is Dirk, Jackpot, and Mama S all with 1 apiece. Going into round 2.
All right, we got some grab bag right here. Bobby says they look like a monk. Oh, it could be.
Well, is a monk the same thing as a friar? I said friar, but I don't know if there's a difference. I'm sure there's
it could be.
So a friar I know is like medieval term for I think. Well, no, excuse me. A monk's more like a Eastern Hemisphere thing. A friar I think is more like.
Friar makes me think of like Friar Tuck from Robin Hood.
Yes, exactly. It's a religious thing. I just don't know exactly how. All right, Topeka is the state capital of Nebraska, Missouri, Kansas, or Idaho. So this is actually one I did change, Kyle. I went through, and this was actually one.
I like the question.
Well, the game actually was not correct on the question on that one, I believe is what it was. Because it was one, I know it was a game question because you said it was, and I had changed it because it was one we used before, and we found out that it was one of the ones that has there's an error on it. I don't know why.
Okay. That? I'm trying to even remember what it was.
I don't remember what it was either, but it was one where yeah. Brooklyn says this is what happens when you get a Canadian in the mix of American questions. I promise. That's I think that might be the last state. That's definitely the last state capital one for sure for the United States. All right, question number 2. Galileo was the citizen of which country? Italy, Germany, France, or England? Every time I hear England, what is the first thing do you have anything that like comes to your head when you hear England first?
Yeah.
What's your first thing you hear? What?
I think of Austin Powers when he's
I'm
like,
going to
off
London,
England.
England. Oh my God, me too. We have the exact same brain. I think that too every time. I'm going to London, England. I think that every time I hear England.
I mean, obviously, I think of Harry Potter too, but I just like for some reason that line in Austin Powers just always stuck with me.
It has. It's I don't know what it is about it. It's very pleasing the way he says it, and I don't know why.
It's like Tim Curry. Have a lovely day.
Lovely day. Steph says she pictures a human version of the Burger King guy. What? I don't understand. All right, question number 3. What is the driest continent? South America, North America, Antarctica, or Africa?
I thought this was an interesting question.
This is interesting because
I'll be curious to see what everybody thinks on this.
So I have my theory. I'm going to go with Antarctica. And the reason is because Africa obviously is dry. However, in the summertime, when it's very hot out, we still have a lot of humidity. And I think Africa has a lot of rainforest and stuff still. So I think there's a lot of humidity in the air. It's not where Antarctica, when it's cold out here, we have to have humidifiers on because it's so dry.
Yep.
So I think it's got to be Antarctica.
It is Antarctica. And I figured this was going to be a tough question. I thought that I thought that the two most answered ones would be Africa and Antarctica, which it looks like they were. Actually, more people got that than I thought that they would. Yeah. Usually, I kind of looked at it. People are going to associate cold with not dry. And yeah, most people did get it.
Which of the following is not a capital city? Sydney, Moscow, Cairo, or Beijing? Brooklyn wants to know if we're just childhood friends or brothers. No, we're brothers. I don't know this one. I don't know. I don't think, is Cairo the capital city?
Cairo is Egypt, Moscow's Russia, Beijing's China. I don't know what Australia's. I think it's Queensland is Australia, right?
Oh yeah. I forget. Well, I couldn't remember if Cairo was Egypt's. I was going to go
Melbourne.
Okay.
Is Queensland? Is that New Zealand? No, Auckland is New Zealand.
Auckland's New Zealand. Yeah, I think Queensland's like the second largest city, or maybe third. I think there's only like 3 cities in Australia, and I think the rest of it's just outback.
Oh, now Jerry and Jeffrey are saying Canberra. I've never even heard of that.
I've never heard of that either. All right, question number 5. Which noble gas has the lowest atomic number? Neon, krypton, helium, or argon?
See, I made I actually came up with a lot of the questions in this round. This is one I can guarantee you. If it's science related, Kyle didn't come up with it. This is a game question because I wouldn't know this.
This might be stupid, but like Krypton is a planet in DC Comics. It's not. Is it really an element? Please tell me it's not, because I'll feel really dumb if I didn't know that. I don't know.
I don't know.
I never made it that far in high school science.
Okay, so here's another question.
What?
Is palladium an actual element? Obviously, in the MCU, it's extremely important, but is that an actual element? I never looked that up.
I don't know. It seems legit. Helium is the
lowest. I feel like if it ends with there's a good chance that it's an element.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, the exact same people. We had a few people with 5 for 5. Brooke and Carrie both had 5 as well. Just came down to time.
Jeffrey says Krypton is an element.
Really?
Wow.
Well, it must come from the dying planet. How sad. I wonder what Krypton really is. That kind of changes my whole perspective in life. Not really, but I'll never think of that the same.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I didn't know that. Palladium is also an element. Okay.
Wow. Dude, this is what, Kyle, we don't need science classes. We just have to watch comic book movies and read comic books. And
damn right.
I can learn all I need to know. All right, so we have a 3-way tie still with Dirk, Mama S, and Jackpot, all with 2. And that's it so far. So this is going to be the breakup round right here.
All right, here we go. What is the most abundant metal in the Earth's crust? Zinc, magnesium, or aluminum? little backstory on this question right here. I couldn't think of a fourth one off the top of my head, so I just left it at 3.
Iron? You could have just said iron.
Well, I thought of them after the fact, but I was like in the zone making questions because Dan and I made the questions for this literally like a half hour ago. So like I was in the zone and I was on a roll and I'm like, all right, there's no going back. What's done is done.
I knew Kyle made this question. You know he makes a question because he only had 3 answers. I don't know.
I panicked and I just moved on.
A lot of people want magnesium. I really don't know what the most abundant. A lot of people. I know aluminum is like used a lot. I do know there are 15,000 cans of aluminum cans like soda or drinks are made per second around the world. Per second.
Wow. Got a lot of people with that. All right, number 2. What was Babe Ruth's first name? John, Herman, Jerry, or George?
I don't know this one.
See, this is why you got to watch The Sandlot.
No, I don't like this. You guys made me watch it as like a 5-year-old
James Earl
kid.
Jones says at the end.
And I hated that movie. I hated The Sandlot.
All right, so I knew I was going to get a lot of people saying too. So Babe Ruth's middle name was Herman. His first name was George.
Oh, I was going to go with Herman too. I think I was going with a lot of people with that. Herman sounded right.
That's why I put it in there because I had a feeling a lot of people would go with the middle name. So it's George Herman Ruth.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Is he still? I don't really like. I don't keep up to date with baseball. I don't know much about it. Is he still considered like the GOAT for baseball? For most people,
I think so.
I mean,
I don't know. I don't really watch it.
I remember in high school, I remember people were talking about like A-Rod, and I know A-Rod didn't come to his full potential, so I was just curious.
Number 3, what mammal are humans genetically closest to? Orangutans, gorilla, chimpanzees, or bonobos? I think that because I remember like when we were in high school too, the other one that was like the big name in baseball was Albert Pujols or whatever his name was.
Yep.
But I don't know. I think he might even still be playing. I'm not sure, but
I doubt it.
I think Babe Ruth is still considered the
best.
I
think what made him so good was I think he was just statistically so much better than everyone else in the game at that time. It wasn't like he was better, but like he was way better. I think. I don't know.
Crazy to think too, because they say like he literally didn't take care of his body at all.
No.
Like, he smoked like a ton of cigars every single day.
He ate fried chicken before every game.
Yeah, I was gonna say he would drink beer, eat fried chicken and hot dogs before the games, and then always would like chew during the games too. All right, number 4. Botany is the scientific study of what? Stars, plants, insects, or birds?
See? Okay, I'm just going to say that again. Another science thing I knew. Poison ivy. She was a paleobotanist. I'm just gonna say if you guys read comic books, you can learn a lot of stuff, all right? So I came off pretty I learned quite a bit as a kid from that, all right? As a kid or 29-year-old who still reads comic books. So
from the sounds of it, it sounds like the new Batman movie is awesome.
I am so excited.
Sounds like it's gonna slap hard.
Steph says, what else do you know about poison ivy? I know a lot about poison ivy. I know her very intimately, all right?
All right, number 5. In what country did carving jack-o'-lanterns originate? The UK, Spain, Ireland, or Germany?
So this is one actually we did during Halloween.
I thought we might have. I couldn't remember.
But it's a good question. I'm curious to who remembers. Like we said, you're bound to sometimes run into ones, but I'm curious because we still have a lot of people torn between Germany and Ireland. So Germany was the Christmas tree.
Yep.
And Ireland was, the jack-o'-lantern. But I think we had someone answer for every single one except for Spain. I don't think anyone gave Spain.
Yeah, nobody went with Spain, I don't think. But Looks like it was mainly split between almost even.
Yeah, so if you were thinking if Germany rang a bell, it was the Christmas tree was German. All right. Okay, we have 3 new people on. So we got Jerry with a point now. We got Mitchell and Stephanie. Only one person with 5. It's going into the final grab bag before we go into the toy round, which is round 5.
I'm excited for toys because that's where Dan took over. So I don't know any of the questions that are coming for that.
Those took me a long time because toys are hard because there's certain ones I feel like everyone knows, and then there's some that nobody knows, or there's certain toys that don't have a specific name, like Spinner Top was one. It's like you don't know what it's called. It's just everyone has a different name for it. There's not a brand name for it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Question number 1. Nepal is located in which continent? South America, Europe, Asia, or Africa? I hate to keep beating a dead horse here. However, Batman has to go to Nepal to save Robin when Robin gets kidnapped by Ra's al Ghul. So I'm just saying, you learn a lot when you read comic books, okay? So what I'm trying to say is if you want to be smarter and impress all the people you hang out with, then read comic books.
So I think a lot of people got it, but we also had a lot of people, I think, that went. I think we actually had every answer. All but Africa. Okay. Honestly, I thought Africa was going to be one of the top answered ones too.
Interesting. Yeah. All right, question number 2. What company makes the Butterfinger bar? Nestle, Mars, Hershey, or Godiva? Well, this is right up my alley. I don't like Butterfingers, but I do know my candy bars.
You don't like Butterfinger?
I haven't had a Butterfinger probably since the 90s. I was very young one Halloween when I had one, and I was very excited because we used to trade all the time. I'd get your Kit Kats, and then you'd get my Butterfingers. And the one time I tried one, and I was just like, no, this isn't it.
I like Butterfingers. The one thing I don't like is they get stuck in your teeth more often. I feel like at least.
Yeah, they get stuck in your molars.
The inner part, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to worry about that with Kit Kats. Kit Kat's literally the perfect food. It's nutritious and delicious.
Oh, I didn't know they had these, but so those like the pre-made like frozen ice cream cones that you can get like at the grocery store?
Yeah.
There's a Kit Kat version now.
Yeah, I saw that. Question number 3. Where did rapper Eminem grow up? Minneapolis, Milwaukee, Detroit, or Chicago?
So yeah, I saw it yesterday. It was like one of those it had the cone and then it had like the chocolate covered ice cream on top of it.
Yep.
And then it had like actual like Kit Kat pieces in it.
Why I didn't buy it, because I saw the same thing, and I didn't buy it because the chocolate covering in the top. I'm very particular about how I like things. Like Kit Kats, I don't get them anymore. I used to get them in flurries or blizzards. I mean, at Dairy Queen. The very few times we don't have a Dairy Queen around here, but now I get Heath bars because I don't like Kit Kats getting diluted at all with anything else. Kit Kat's perfect just the way it is. Steph says Dan's ridiculous, but I am an ice cream snob. I'm a very difficult person to live with, probably.
Gotta have a peanut butter cup flurry.
But I make up for it by being so awesome. All right, question number 4. Which U.S. state has Garden State as its nickname? Rhode Island, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, or Delaware? Sorry, Canadian people.
Jerry. He says he likes the dark chocolate Kit Kats.
I do eat them.
Ugh.
When I have to.
Dark chocolate should not exist.
I would agree with that. However, I do eat them during Halloween when they have the 3-packs. They have the white chocolate regular and the dark. I'm a good trooper and I plow through them all. indiscriminately. I just eat them all. But if I had
Okay,
my
I will. No, I will say dark chocolate. I like if it has like as weird as it is, like a fruit filling in it. If you go to like Gertrude Hawking, you get the smidgens. The only dark chocolate ones I'll eat are the raspberry filled ones.
No, that's gross. Nope.
Oh,
Fruit
those are good.
shouldn't
Any
exist
other ones
either.
though, like just regular pure dark chocolate? Ugh.
Yeah. Steph says I leave wrapper trails everywhere. I do. That's how you know where I
ask
am.
about melting Frosties.
Dude, don't even get me started. Question 5. What is the name of town in which Lily and James Potter are buried? Ottery, St. Catchpole, Little Hangleton, Hogsmeade, or Godric's Hollow?
So I think Dan actually made this
I did.
question.
This was in here for Kyle. I put it in here.
Yes.
I cannot stand. Kyle knows this. I can't stand ice cream that's melted at all. So I eat my ice cream very fast because melted ice cream is not ice cream in it. Like it's a thing about me. And I have a little mini meltdown. Like Steph, but she dips all of her stuff. Like she gets a Frosty and she'll dip her fries, and fries are hot, so it slowly melt. And like she thinks it's funny to like swirl it around and make it like melt. And it bothers me. I can't do it.
All right, Dan. Let's test your Harry Potter knowledge. What's the significance of each of those 4 towns?
Oh my god! I didn't know they were all even in there.
Yeah, they are.
I didn't know
Godric's Hollow obviously is where his parents are buried, but also it's the birthplace of Godric Gryffindor. Hogsmeade is the only all wizarding village in Britain. It's right next to Hogwarts.
Of course.
Little Hangleton is where the Riddle family lived. And then Ottery St. Catchpole is right next to where the Burrow is, which is where Ron's family lives.
Okay. So we have Dirk has taken first place. We got Mama S Jackpot and Mitchell now in second place with 2 apiece, and Stephanie. And then Jerry's in third with 1. Going into the final round, which is toys. And then we do have a bonus, of course.
Oh, I'm excited for this.
Steph says she likes ice cream soup. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with you people? You put it in the microwave and you
So we had a teacher in high school. I always thought this was the grossest thing. We had a teacher in high school. Every night she would take ginger ale, shake it up and make it flat. And then she would make an ice cream soda with flat ginger ale and chocolate ice cream.
Yeah, that's just diabolical. You have to be a math teacher to enjoy that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's just awful. Ugh. All right, name the toy. The Tamagotchi, Kirby, Furry, or Furby?
God, I remember these things.
I wanted a year 2000. No, it's Christmas of 99. I was 7 years old, and I wanted nothing more than a Furby, which is one of these things. And I got one. That was like the best Christmas gift I could have gotten. And then I remember getting it, and it was nothing like nobody liked them. I feel like we all got them, and then collectively, like, I hated that thing.
Everybody really wanted them. Remember, we took it down to Virginia when the Gardners lived down there. We took it down to Virginia, and the entire car ride wouldn't shut up.
It did. You're right. Mitch is trying to tell us something, I think, with his answer. Going with we got a few people with the furries. That's an entirely different meaning. I didn't even know when I put that in there. I did not think about that until now. So, all right, name the toy. Is it Whopper Boppers, Soccer Boppers, Sock'em Boppers, or Rock'em Boppers?
Oh, the furry.
Steph says she got one, took the batteries out, and still talked to my closet. Yep. Same with mine.
Those things were relentless.
They were. We had the batteries out, and my closet would still sometimes awaken at night and start talking. And I was so sad because I really wanted it that year. And I got it.
It looked so cool on TV.
It was nothing like it was advertised. So, what is it, Kyle?
I think that they're Soccer Boppers.
So it is. This got a lot of people. I knew it would. It is actually Soccer Boppers, not Sock'em Boppers, which I could have swore I double-checked a million times. They are Soccer Boppers, not Sock'em Boppers. Even though I remember, this is the Mandela effect coming in right now, is because everyone assumes, or I remember them sock 'em boppers, but I double checked. All right, name the type of toy this is. Is it a Tinker Tech, Playmobil, Lego, or K'NEX? I just blew Steph's mind. She's like, what? What does the song say? No, it doesn't say sock 'em. It says soccer boppers. It doesn't say sock 'em. Or soccer. No, sock 'em. I'm throwing myself off.
So I'm thinking these right here. I think this must be Playmobil because they're not Legos. I remember K'NEX and I remember Tinker Toys. Doesn't look like any of those. I think it's got to be two.
Yeah. So it is Playmobil. Playmobil is German, which I did not know until now because I didn't realize even that's how it was spelled. We never had Playmobil growing up, but our cousins did, and I used to play with them sometimes, and I thought they were pretty cool.
I always loved Legos. I remember Tinker Toys. K'NEX slap too.
K'NEX were definitely cool. Really interesting for sure.
Oh, yeah.
What year did Silly Putty debut? Is it 87, 77, 67, or 57?
I feel like Silly Putty's been around a long time.
It has.
I'm going 57. I feel like it's been around a long time.
Okay. So that is correct. It is 1957. And it was an accident. The attempt, I believe, was to make a rubber bouncy ball. And it never like hardened properly. It was I think it was the idea was they were going to make like the bounciest ball ever made or something, and it ended up like never hardening properly. And then, you know what the thing that really upset me was I always liked how pink it was when you buy Silly Putty, and then the one you used to have the packages that would show you could put it on newspaper and pull off the print, which you could, but that would also make it turn dirty like brown. So that was disappointing. All right, final question of the round. What is the 90s sensation here? Is it twists, tops, spins, or pogs?
Oh, man. I remember they had these, everywhere. Walmart. I remember getting them at Barnes & Nobles.
Yeah, dude.
They had, like, just massive bins. So, these are pogs.
They're so dumb, too, if you really think about it. Like, it's just, but they were cool. Pogs.
Oh yeah, they were like super popular. I feel like that was like pre-Pokemon.
Yes, they definitely
like that was the cool thing before Pokemon was a thing.
Yeah, because there were so many different types of Pogs, but
yep.
And you had those cool like tube canisters you could collect them in.
Yep,
that was fun. Yep. I'm not sure what killed them. I honestly think Pokemon may have just been the death of them. I don't know for sure, but
I think so because that's the one thing I remember before. Like before Pokemon got really, really popular in the States, like that, everybody was getting those.
Yep. Okay, so we got Stephanie now has 3. Jerry has 2, and Kev gets on the board. So I'll be going into bonus round. Only one person can get it. Dirk and Stephanie are tied for first. Mama Ass, Jackpot, Jerry all have 2 apiece for second place, and then and Mitchell, excuse me. And Mitchell. So Mitchell, Jerry, Jackpot, and Mama Ass all have 2 apiece.
Here's one for you. Remember, there was a time I was probably like 4th grade. Remember, yo-yos were really popular.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why, but it was like something.
I remember, cool. Like in the cafeteria. Remember, there was like a spot where anybody that had a yo-yo would like go over and
show off your skills.
Oh yeah, that was like the thing in like 4th grade.
Okay, so this is geography. You need to name the country that is circled there. Is it Syria, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, or Iran? Iran so far away.
And he's blurred out all the
yeah, I didn't.
A couple of the countries right next to it too.
I blurred out every country that's on here. The 4 here are all close neighbors. So this is the biggest country of the 4. Who was the first one? It is Saudi Arabia. I believe Bobby got it first. I'm going through right now. I'm trying to. My thing keeps popping up.
I'm not sure if I would have gotten that because I wasn't sure honestly where Saudi Arabia. Like I know that I don't ever look at the Middle East, which is kind of weird. When I look at a map, I look at Africa and I look at Asia and I look at Europe. I don't ever, and I don't know why. I just don't. I don't look at it. Syria is just above it, and Iraq and Iran are just to the right, slightly above to the right.
I was thinking it was Syria, so I would have gotten that wrong.
So Bobby gets the lone point on that, putting her in third place with Kev. Mitchell, Jerry, Jackpot, and Mama S all have 2 apiece, and then that leaves Stephanie and Dirk with the dub with 3 points apiece. That's a low-scoring game. Well, not really, I guess.
It was pretty. Yeah, it was pretty like evenly spread out. I feel like.
Yeah. So that was a good game. So
yeah, it was.
Good game, everybody. Congratulations to Stephanie and Dirk. Guys, thank you so much for playing, and we'll see you guys on Wednesday for another round of trivia. Have a good night, guys.